Ah oui, ça affiche même les armes que j'ai jamais débloquées, apparemment. Bon, peu importe. En fait, la seule qui est pas affichée, je pense que c'est le... C'est parce que j'ai pas dû trouver son... Ah bah non. Ah, c'est 40 pages. J'en ai combien? Merde, y'a pas le total. Bon, celle-là, clairement, je l'ai ratée. Hein. J'espère que c'est pas la seule que j'aurais ratée, sinon je vais avoir le seum. Oh, il y a moyen que ce soit la seule. Celle-là, j'ai pas lu. Il y a grandement moyen que ce soit la seule. Bon, peu importe. Alors du coup, j'imagine qu'il n'y a pas de précédemment machin. Du coup, Alan Wake est coincé dans... Alors il est toujours coincé dans l'entre-noir. Il a réussi à créer une ouverture pour arriver dans la zone X, qui est un autre endroit chelou.
It did not end well. He hopes to avoid that fate this time. He hopes that what he has brought with him to this place is enough.
Et donc, il est en Arizona. Il se passe des trucs chelous évidemment. Il a son double maléfique qui fout la merde. Et il est coincé dans une boucle temporelle surtout. Donc il y a 3 lieux. Celui-là est en 3ème. Et du coup la dernière fois qu'on est venu ici ça s'est mal fini. Et on a recommencé au premier endroit. Alors je vais juste regarder parce que apparemment ça j'ai pas
The
lu.
film noir poster reminded me of Alex Casey. The detective's cool exterior never cracking even with the gun pointed in his face. In the back room, all the lights had been turned off, except for the lone spotlight which illuminated the bright red fire extinguisher on the wall.
Ok, ça c'est nouveau. Ça veut dire que ça rajoute des conditions à la situation à la fin là il me semble. Poster de film noir, donc ça c'est dans la salle de projection je crois. Dans l'arrière-salle, toutes les lumières avaient été éteintes sauf un projecteur qui illuminait l'extincteur rouge fixé au mur. On verra quand j'y serai. Mais je pense que enfin, logiquement ça devrait encore une fois pas être suffisant. Et je pense qu'on va encore avoir une boucle vu qu'il reste encore des pages.
Serena's probably out of her mind again, but I'm gonna need that key so I can get the power back on.
Ah oui c'est vrai. Ouais, il y a une machine qui est pas bien là.
To change the world, you must craft a blueprint for the new reality. Any work of art will do, as long as it's a genuine act of creation. That's what the energies of the dark place respond to. The results may be subtle and perplexing, or far-ranging and momentous. My area of expertise, the written word, gives much more precise results than music or interpretive dance would, for instance. But words can be extremely dangerous. What you define may become reality, but so can that which you imply, even if you don't realize you're doing so.
Ok. Ouais, normalement elle a la clé, non? Parce qu'elle nous avait fait tout un charabia la première fois.
I'm really just here to get the keys so I can get the power back on.
Do you want to hold me down? It's okay. I know you like that.
Yeah, I'll just grab the keys.
I could be like your wife, little wifey, waiting at home for hubby. Or you could be the mailman, or the neighbor.
Ah mais est-ce qu'on peut juste...
Who isn't crazy, thanks. I'm just gonna go and get the power back on.
Aww.
Look,
Elle
I
est pas
may
folle, elle
or
est
may
possédée.
not be back. I have the access code to the booth already, so once the power is on...
Ah oui, voilà.
You should totally come see me. We
Donc
could
il y a
have
une
fun.
étape en moins du coup.
You know.
We'll see how it goes.
À moins que le code ait changé, mais logiquement il y a une étape en moins.
You should sit down or something. Try to stay calm.
I don't want to be calm. I want to be nasty. I want to be nasty with you.
Yeah. Okay.
You could do anything you want. You can use my...
Let's not even go there. I was hoping that you'd remember more, but I guess that was too much to ask.
I was about to do the weather, but I see we have a caller. Hey, you're on the air with Eddie. What's up?
Hey, Eddie, it's Ricky. You talked about fate before. You think about that a lot?
Not a lot, to be honest, but I take it you do.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Any conclusions you'd care to share, Ricky?
Well, we've got free will, right? That's in the Bible and everything.
Yeah, right, sure.
So free will, right? Am I right? I mean, if we can do what we want, how can there be fate? I mean, you don't know what's going to happen next, so there's no fate. There's just people doing stuff.
Well, I don't know, Ricky. I don't suppose you have considered the possibility that we're all here in the service of a greater purpose, incomprehensible to us, and that what it
Oula.
would take to be freedom is nothing more than the move of a pawn on some cosmic chessboard, limited in scope, subject to the whims of unseen players, existing only for their entertainment. Or perhaps we're just a twisted reflection of actual events that can happen elsewhere. Could it be that such is life in Night Springs?
Dude, what?
Food for thought, Ricky. Food for thought.
Ok. Sa voix qui s'est mélangée avec celle du... Ah mais il y a un timer du coup pour le repop des objets. Sa voix qui s'est mélangée avec le narrateur de Night Springs. Bon du coup comme d'hab il faut que j'essaie de fouiller un peu pour voir si je trouve des pages. Ah, je crois qu'il y en a une là-bas. Ah oui non c'était l'arbalète. Ah mais il y en a une quand même.
I have changed. I know who I am now. I know that I can write my own fate. Bright Falls taught me that. I know that indulging my weaknesses, giving in to fear and complacency will only drag me down. The dark place taught me that. I'm no Zen master. I've not attained enlightenment. But I have learned to let go of the things that I don't need. I know that without that balance within, I become my own worst enemy. Now I strive for equilibrium, and with that, I'm strong enough to get where I want.
Ça se met à la place du... Ouais non. Clairement ça me va pas. J'aurais pu le tester juste pour ce combat, mais... Alors du coup j'ai cru voir une page là-bas au fond. Là dans tous les cas j'irai après. Ouais, il y en a une vers là. Ah mais direct. Je comprends. Très bien joué ça. Putain, j'ai cru que j'avais encore raté.
It's obvious that for all his power, Mr. is an agent of another greater being. The dark place he came from is full of terrible alien intelligences, dark presences, and none of them should be let loose in our world. He serves one of them. He'll open the way for them if I don't stop him. But he'll do more. He'll take over my life. He already has my face. He already uses my name. He'll become Alan Wake in every way imaginable and corrupt everything. Unless I can stop him.
Bon, alors je pense que le mot alien n'aurait pas dû être traduit par extraterrestre. Plutôt garder alien dans le sens autre. Alors encore une télé. Faire attention parce que une fois sur deux c'est du contenu pas ouf.
I want to talk about Alice. Just look at her. She's really beautiful, isn't she? Your wife. Well, our wife, really. Just my wife soon. Don't worry. I'm not gonna treat her like the others. She's special. If I wanted her dead, she would be. I've been around for a while now. So talented. You haven't seen her new work, of course. Oh, it takes my breath away. Really, she's that good. Did you know that I've got a wedding ring, too? We're that similar. She's seen me a couple times, you know. I've let her catch glimpses. She thinks she's imagining things, of course. She thinks you're dead. It might as well be. I mean, even if you manage to keep surviving, you'll be in my trap forever. So I'll go to her. It'll be an amazing moment. Oh my God, you're alive. I'll be the good, loving husband for as long as I can stand it. She'll love it. And then, one day, somehow, it'll happen. Maybe I'll slip up, she spots something, or maybe she just starts running her mouth. And then I'll do it. It's gonna be sweet. My darling wife.
Bon. Gros burk déjà la mise en scène. Et toujours le même plot device, on va dire. À savoir la compagne qui est utilisée juste pour motiver le héros. Ou lui faire du mal d'ailleurs, à travers elle. Bon, même si là c'est pas encore arrivé, mais c'est l'idée. En plus on l'a déjà vu torturer une autre meuf, donc on sait que... Enfin, l'idée c'est de projeter ça sur sa femme à lui.
I have created the weapon that can put an end to this. A blueprint to a new reality. All I have to do is survive long enough to use it. My arrival from the dark place will be painful and difficult. These pages may be lost. But one way or another, I'll send the parts I really need to myself. If I make it outside, I have a chance. Mr. is more powerful than I am, but he can't change the rules in the middle of the game. He's not a creator. I am.
Ok, donc là, il parle du... En fait, son arme, c'est de venir dans cette réalité-là, justement. Et de potentiellement arriver à changer les choses. Je vais me faire aggro.
The trap Mr. is set for me is as simple as it is impossible. Whenever I reach him, he sends me back to the beginning of the maze. It's a loop in time. I go through it only to end up where I started. There's a brutal genius to it. If I die, it's over for me. If I survive, I end up where I started. Sooner or later, the odds will catch up with me. And in the meantime, he gets to toy with me. But that's why I have a chance. He's caught in this pattern just as much as I am. I know where he'll be, and I'm prepared.
J'en suis où là? Il y a ça qui manque, ça m'inquiète un peu. Je sais pas si c'est dans cette boucle ou dans la boucle d'avant. J'en avais eu 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ouais, c'est potentiellement dans la boucle d'avant. Surtout que c'est vers le début, donc... Si c'était vers le début de cette zone, je l'aurais déjà trouvé, je pense. Je sais pas. Mauvaise idée. Ça fait quoi si je passe par là? Ça fait rien du tout. Ah, c'est potentiellement une page ça.
Like a little hamster in a wheel. Go ahead and keep running for all the good it'll do you.
beaucoup de munitions ou pas? 50. C'est le max. Je sais pas si c'est le max. En fait, ouais, je sais pas si c'est une bonne idée de lâcher l'arbalète. Ouais, je sais pas. Ça a l'air fort, mais bof. Je vais rester sur mon combo. Parce que l'arbalète, ça permet quand même de toucher les ennemis, même s'ils ont pas de... Même s'ils ont une armure. Alors du coup, de ce côté-là, j'étais pas allé la dernière fois, mais... En soi, y'a rien, non? Ouais, y'a rien. Je vais aller là où il y a les pages. Enfin, la page. Quoique, en vrai, de toute façon, on sera obligé de revenir par là, je pense. Mais là, c'est plus tranquille. Ah bah c'est celle qui me manquait.
The
Très bien.
dark place is utterly hostile to human life. It eats at your mind, wants you to succumb to madness. Your own thoughts can turn against you. Every shadow conceals a threat that attacks at the slightest sign of weakness. You're under endless assault. Every day is a struggle for survival. But I've learned to take care of myself. I focus on Alice, our life together, my need to be with her. That takes me a long way in the dark place. As long as I have my gun and the flashlight.
Mhm. Ah, il y a une autre page dedans.
For Serena Valdivia, burning the midnight oil was more of an exception than a rule. A procrastinator and a perfectionist, she often worked when she wouldn't be disturbed. Tonight was especially important. The film festival would open tomorrow, and there was still so much to sort out. It wasn't that the work hadn't been done. She just didn't feel like she had completely mastered everything yet.
Il n'y avait pas d'étoile d'araignée à l'époque. Pas sûr d'aimer la nouvelle déco. Alors cette fois, faut activer que celui du milieu. Ouais. Ah génial. En vrai, il y a de l'électricité de partout, non? Ça devrait les griller, non? Je sens qu'elles vont revenir à l'infini et que je suis censé rusher. Nick. Nick. C'était quoi ça? Ah oui d'accord. Ouais, j'ai pas le temps en fait. Ça va être trop short. Je sais pas si elles me suivent ou pas en fait. Ok. Ah oui, et du coup là j'ai déjà le code pour la cabine de projection.
If you quit, you lose. If you make it to the end of the loop, you still lose. Sucker.
Oh, c'était juste ça. Peut-être repasser à voir la meuf là. Je suis pas censé aller la voir, mais du coup il y a peut-être une page ou un dialogue en plus. D'ailleurs, techniquement, la lumière, là, elle devrait empêcher les ombres d'apparaître au milieu, non? Ah, d'accord, ça s'arrête. Mais ouais, il se passe quoi? Trop bizarre. Genre ils se sont pris des dégâts de lumière mais je sais pas d'où exactement le jeu a crash. Yes. Quel plaisir de jouer sur PC vraiment. Logiquement il y a pas mal de points de sauvegarde. Je vérifie que la capture est bien. Pas mal de points de sauvegarde, donc j'espère que c'était pas trop loin. Entrer dans la cabine, je suis où là? Ouais, ok, c'est juste avant d'arriver sur le parking. Ça va. En espérant que ça recommence pas. Ah mais je suis censé détruire les fontaines des ténèbres là, elles sont où? Ok, bon, ils sont toujours plus ou moins au même endroit. Il doit en rester une au milieu, je crois. Je sais plus où. Il n'y en a pas une par là, normalement? Ou alors faut que je suive l'objectif. Ah oui, ça a l'air d'être là-bas. Ok. Est-ce que j'étais déjà retourné là-bas? Je sais plus. Dans le doute. Si, je crois qu'il y avait une page que j'ai déjà eue. Ouais, je vais quand même retourner voir machine. Là. Au cas où, même si je suis pas censé y aller. Peut-être un dialogue ou je sais pas quoi. Ah oui, l'essoufflement dure vraiment pas longtemps.
It's you.
I guess you're back to normal again?
I don't know if I'm ever gonna be normal, but thanks. I know you didn't have to come back for me like this.
I couldn't just leave you like that. I'm sorry about the whole thing.
Not your fault. At least I'm not Little Miss Whoreslut anymore. Ugh, that's just... Hey, thanks for not, you know, taking advantage.
No problem.
Merci d'être normal.
You don't seem too weirded out even though this is happening again.
Honestly, that pales in comparison with having that thing inside my head. I mean, it's crazy, but...
I understand. It can really mess you up.
This is weird. I think what he did left something. I can feel that things are different. I just know that time's acting wrong. I don't know how to describe it. It's like I can sense it.
I'm not surprised. A close encounter with these forces, it stays with you. Changes the way you see things. Some people can't deal with that. They just lose it.
Well, it's early yet. I'm not ruling anything out.
I'm gonna go make my way into the projector booth.
Okay. Is there anything I can do? About the situation, I mean?
No. It's a trap for me. I'm gonna have to go deal with it.
Uh-huh. And you got a plan, is that it?
I think I have a chance. Yeah.
Bon, je suis pas convaincu, mais... Alors, en parlant du plan, il faut que je révise un peu, là. Du coup... Comment est-ce qu'on peut voir?
I have created the weapon that can put an end to this.
Non. Mince. C'est pas ici, je crois, c'est avant. Observatoire.
The atmosphere in the projection booth at the drive-in was charged. Almost unreal. Despite that, the air felt cool and refreshing this late at night. It'd been a hot day.
Donc il y a heure
Summer was
tardive.
nearing its end, but it wasn't over yet.
Heure tardive, fin de l'été. Il y a l'idée de l'air frais aussi, mais je sais pas si ça a un rapport avec le ventilo.
The film noir poster reminded me of Alex Casey. The detective's cool exterior never
Et du coup,
cracking
toutes les
even with the
lumières ont
dark
été
moment in his
éteintes,
face.
sauf un projecteur
In the back
qui
room,
illumine
all the
l'extincteur. Ok. Mais alors attends, du coup... Ah oui, il y a ça que j'ai raté. Il n'y a pas un truc nouvelle réalité ici? Ah oui, si. Ouais, non, mais ça c'est juste le satellite. Très bien. Et oui, de toute façon, ça va certainement rater vu qu'il y a ça. Mais logiquement, la troisième boucle devrait être plus rapide. J'imagine.
Are you getting it yet, genius?
C'est la première fois qu'il apparaît pas dans une cutscene, j'ai l'impression. Genre que je peux le viser.
The champion of light knows that the time itself is about to end. At least for him. He can feel the dead end rushing towards him. But there is time to act. Incomplete or not, he has the weapon.
I don't have the whole thing, but maybe it's enough.
Bah non. Bon, je vais essayer d'activer ça quand même, parce qu'il y a quand même l'idée de l'air frais, même s'il n'est pas spécifié ici. Fin de l'été. Heure avancée de la nuit. Ouais, 2h30 du mat. Il faut un poster de film noir. Yes. Alex Casey. Et toutes les lumières doivent être éteintes sauf celle qui doit aller vers l'extincteur. Eh bien non. Je pense que le dernier truc ça aura un rapport avec la borne. Il y a peut-être moyen de jouer en vrai.
Cute, aren't you? What are you up to? It's a waste of time, buddy. You should just lie down and die. Let me take over. This is the only thing you've got coming to you. From here to eternity.
No matter how many times you come back.
Bon, il était déjà plus serein.
Time folds back on itself. Again, his senses scream as the very impossibility of what is happening assaults them. But the champion of light endures.
Les gongs. Bon, si c'est la dernière boucle, il faut qu'on arrive à sauver la meuf là.
Another detail falls
Emma,
into
je crois.
place. Now the trap works against the herald of darkness.
On sait jamais. J'imagine qu'il va y avoir un nouveau type d'ennemi, encore une fois. Yep.
Holy shit! What are you, the king hillbilly?
Très grand. Ok, 3 flèches. Bon, moi les ennemis assez grands et assez lents, ça me va bien, en général. Plutôt pour.
Tor and Odin Anderson, old gods of Asgard. I still don't quite know what to make of them. I know they used to be rock stars who modeled their stage personas after Norse gods. I know they're old. I know that in their day they fought the darkness as I do. I know they're demented and insane, ravaged by age and self-abuse. But there's something in them, something powerful that took hold when they were touched by the powers beyond. A thing that goes far beyond just stage names. Something godlike.
Ok, donc là il y a 4 pages. Je pense que celle que j'ai ratée avant, je pourrais pas la récupérer ici quoi qu'il arrive.
Cue, bubbling to the surface from untold depths, the horrors come. The emerging monsters do not expect the warm reception that has already been prepared for them.
Ah oui d'accord, j'ai vraiment plus... Il n'y a même plus l'étape où on va chercher les objets quoi. Juste vérifier mais normalement ça va pas changer. Ouais. Donc on fait direct péter le truc, très bien. Ça me va.
Next stop, saving Emma.
Ok, donc là non, j'ai un peu de temps. Je vais aller check les autres endroits vite fait pour voir s'il n'y a pas des pages.
The Anderson brothers should probably have been in a facility somewhere, despite their tendency to escape from such places. It could be argued that they had no business being on tour, considering their condition. Their lives mostly revolved around the laundry list of ailments and their endless quest for liquor. But Barry Wheeler managed them now. And whatever else they might say about Barry, he knew how to make things happen. And honestly, it wasn't like the Andersons were the most difficult clients he ever had.
Je me rappelle plus s'il y a une cabane ou je sais pas quoi dans dans la pampa.
I guess.
I actually hauled myself out of bed.
Clear now.
Gallery of Visual Arts, and she's in charge of the NSVA Film Festival, held this year at the Old Night Springs Drive-In Theater.
Hello, Eddie. It's great to be here. And let me just say that it's a wonderful venue.
Absolutely. And with her is one of the filmmakers, somebody who's actually primarily known as a renowned photographer, Alice Wake.
Hello.
Alice, I've seen a lot of your work over the years. It's very impressive. My wife's a big fan, actually.
Oh, thank you.
You've gained quite a bit of fame as a photographer, but that's not why you're here, right? You actually have a film. That's a little surprising.
For me, too. I really wouldn't be here at all if it weren't for Serena.
You two are friends, I take it?
Yeah, we move in the same circles. So, about a year ago, I heard about all this footage she'd shot, and I got to see some of it, and then I started pestering her about actually putting it out there, because it was really good. I didn't really want to show it. It felt too personal.
Well, yes, I can understand that. It features your husband, and he's, well...
He's dead.
I thought he was missing.
It's been 2 years. This sounds awful, but yes, I believe he's dead. Otherwise he would have, well, you know.
Yeah, I understand. Well, hold that thought, and we'll be right back.
Hold that thought, alors qu'elle est en train de parler de la disparition ou la mort de son mari. Quelle déception, c'est pas dans la piscine.
I have seen the darkness twist flesh into new shapes before, but encountering these giants is an extremely disturbing experience. It's as if the genre has been switched on me. There's something out of Pulp Fiction. Twice as tall as normal men and stronger than forklifts, their lumbering gait and slow-witted demeanor brings to mind some kind of mean-spirited caricature of a feeble-minded hillbilly.
Bon, il doit rester une page dans le coin. Ah, elle est là. Ah putain, il y a encore la télé. J'imagine que ça va encore monter d'un cran, là, vu qu'on a refait une loupe.
Emma wasn't sure exactly when the man arrived at the motel, but from what she could tell, the party started almost immediately. It was infectious, spreading from one room to another. He was mercurial, almost as if he was flickering through the scene, telling a joke here, throwing an insult there, oozing sex and violence and excitement. She had never seen someone like this before. He looked at her and smiled, and she felt her heart flutter a little. She knew he was the kind of man mothers warn their daughters about, but she told herself it didn't matter.
So I've been thinking about Barry. I don't know what to do about him yet. I mean, I'm not gonna keep him around, that's for sure. Al? Ugh, little parasite. Your best friend. Really? That's the best you can do? I actually kinda like the guy. He's a plucky little butterball. He plays the clown. That's a hard road to take. But I don't need him sticking his fat face in my business. Did you know he's been hanging out with the sheriff from that shitty little town? They keep in touch. Barry's about the only guy who insists that you're not dead. How about that? I might keep him alive for a while. Just to see him go to pieces when I fire his ass. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Ok. La mine est fermée, donc c'est cool. C'est-à-dire qu'il n'y aura pas besoin d'y aller. Il reste une page, je sais pas trop où elle est. Soit dans une des chambres du motel, mais je crois pas. Soit peut-être vers les camions là-bas. Je sais pas si on peut aller tout là-bas derrière. Ah, elle est là. Je la vois sur le radar. Hop là. Bon bah du coup là j'ai toutes les... Oh! Ah c'est celle que j'avais ratée, trop bien. Bon bah du coup j'ai pas toutes les pages. Je pensais pas que je pourrais retrouver celle-là.
Some of the taken aren't protected by the darkness like their comrades. Instead, their aversion to light is so extreme that they literally split into two when they encounter strong light. It leaves the two halves weaker, but of course, there's strength in numbers. It's a disturbing development. The dark presence I faced 2 years ago was powerful, but it didn't have much in the way of imagination. Clearly, the same cannot be said of Mr.
Ok, cool. Du coup, je me demande si toutes les... Genre, par exemple, si j'avais pas pris toutes les pages de la première version, enfin de la première boucle et de la deuxième boucle, est-ce que elles auraient été encore dispo sur les boucles d'après? Genre, est-ce qu'elles restent sur la map ou est-ce que... Parce que celle-là, clairement, c'était une page de la première boucle. Ça parle des machins qui se divisent. Merde, j'ai presque plus de balles. Allez, on s'enfuit. Nope. Donc il reste une page, où est-ce qu'elle peut être? J'espère qu'elle est pas dans la zone où il y avait le feu, je pense pas. On doit être dans la zone du motel, je pense. Je fasse attention au radar. C'est quoi cette zone? J'ai jamais vu. Ah mais si, c'est là où on est allé chercher un truc la première fois, je crois. Genre la batterie, il me semble. Ok, ok. Du coup, y a rien, y a pas la... C'est chiant parce que je sais que la page doit être quelque part. Mais je sais pas où exactement, donc... potentiellement, je peux chercher longtemps. Non mais je vais retourner vers... En fait, j'ai peur qu'en allant vers Emma, ça déclenche la suite. C'est pour ça que j'essaie de tout choper avant. Oups. Peut-être là-dessous, mais je pense pas. Il y a juste la mallette normalement. De toute façon, elle se serait affichée sur le radar, à mon avis. Et il n'y a plus de lampadaire par contre. Ah, elle est là la page. Tout simplement. Nice. Donc là j'ai toutes les pages de cette zone.
Getting the Andersons into the recording studio was a struggle and a half. But once they actually picked up the instruments, something happened. They were two old men, and they weren't. They were doddering bags of bone, and they were barely contained power. And there was music. Barry rubbed his hands together. He knew how to pick a winner. Now all they needed was some direction on how to make things a little more modern. Barry had never produced a thing in his life, but he knew what he liked. He knew Balance Slays the Demon was going to be a hit.
Il y a des fois où je me dis que c'est à cause des trophées que je deviens complétionniste. Mais en fait c'est pas le cas. Vu que là clairement il y a 0 trophée. Il n'y a aucune raison de... Enfin raison. Ouais, il n'y a rien qui me pousse forcément à ramasser tout ce qu'il y a à ramasser. Mais je le fais quand même. Bon après là les trucs à ramasser rapportent du lore donc ça m'intéresse toujours.
Yeah, thanks for saving me again. I'd hate to die before I'm scheduled to be murdered.
I guess I have you to thank for setting everything up at the oil derrick.
Yeah, well, I figured that if we were going to go over this again, we might as well try to be smart about it, huh?
I appreciate it. You took a big chance doing that. Are you okay?
What do you think? I've died twice. I remember everything pretty clearly now. You said I was gonna be okay.
I don't know what happened.
Well, it's not your fault. I think one of those, what did you call them? The takers? I think they did something to the power and they got me that way.
I'm sorry.
But I got the keys from the dead guy in that room. And I'm not handing them over until you do something about this. I'm sick of getting killed.
Fair enough.
Okay.
You seem calmer now.
I tried freaking out. It didn't do much good for me. I guess you get used to the craziest stuff.
Good for you.
Plus, I figured I'd take the edge off, you know?
Mm-hmm. Those herbal supplements are pretty good, huh?
Oh, yeah.
I wanted to try to explain things to you now since you're calmer, but maybe this isn't the best time after all.
Oh, shit, yeah. Better not get all metaphysical on me now. Seriously, I'm like 2 sentences away from thinking how we could all be like atoms on God's skin or something.
Or figments of somebody's imagination?
Wow. I'm just gonna try to chill out and not think about that or getting murdered or anything, if you're cool with that.
Gotcha.
Alors c'est un truc d'évacuation. Pendant une seconde je me suis dit que c'était un symbole issu d'une autre œuvre, bref. Les fusibles. N'empêche que c'est la 3e fois, et encore une fois, il était prêt à ne pas la croire quand elle disait que son conseil c'est de la merde. Raté. Je vois pas ce que ça change en fait. Genre... Ils ont détruit ce truc là en fait, donc ils ont juste à le redétruire, non? Je comprends rien.
Okay, I really don't think they can get to the power now.
Thank you. That's a relief. Here's the keys that you needed.
Thank you.
Hey, I have to tell you, at the diner, I went there with him. The guy who looks like you, okay? I know I said that I didn't.
Yeah, I figured. Want to talk about what happened at the diner?
There was this guy from the observatory, and he just attacked the poor dude, smashed his face into the tabletop a bunch of times. It was horrible. I didn't know that he was gonna do that. I swear. And I just ran. I just left him there. I didn't even try to help.
There was nothing you could have done. It's not your fault.
Well, he's dead in that motel room now, so excuse me if I feel pretty shitty about it anyway.
You shouldn't blame yourself.
I just didn't want to get involved. I have this tendency to just drop everything and run. I don't think I'm a bad person, but I didn't even call the cops. I'm such a coward.
If you'd called the cops, we'd have dead cops. He's not human. Do you understand? It's not your fault.
But I could have tried to stop him.
Believe me, if you had, you'd be dead. You seem to be doing a little better now.
Yeah, I guess it just got easier once I got this thing off my chest. I just feel so guilty about it, especially because I didn't pick up on any of the warning signs. I just really liked hanging out with him, you know? He was smart and charming and funny and hot. The way you could be, I guess.
I guess.
What's the deal with this guy anyway? He looks like you, he uses your name. Why does he do this stuff?
I'm not sure myself. Maybe he's just evil or my dark half. He does a lot of the stuff I'm trying really hard to get away from. Things that just messed up my life.
I guess all those murders don't help either.
Yeah, I could do without the murders and the end of the world. Listen, I need to get going.
Yeah, go. I think I'm good now. I hope.
Good luck. If it all goes well, maybe this is the last time we meet like this.
God, wouldn't that be great?
Just keep those lights on, okay?
Encore une fois, suffirait qu'elle vienne avec nous et ce serait réglé, hein, mais bon. Ok, bon, let's go. Bon, du coup, effectivement, la boucle était encore plus rapide, mais comme j'ai cherché les pages, ça a été quand même un peu long.
By the machinations of the Herald of Darkness. And yet, for a moment, the champion of light breathes a little easier. He has saved one life. For this moment, it is enough. And soon, perhaps, he can put an end to this.
Ok, observatoire. Voilà, du coup, le seul but, entre guillemets, c'est d'avoir la 3e partie du code. Parce qu'il y avait personne qui mourait ici.
Returning to the observatory for what he hopes is the final time, the man feels anticipation and dread in equal measure. Soon, he knows he will have what he needs.
Ah mais oui, en fait le signal qu'on capte, c'est lui-même qui s'est envoyé ça à travers le... Enfin depuis l'entre-noir jusqu'ici. Et c'est ça l'arme dont il parle dans le...
Hello, I was
manuscrit.
expecting you. I've already taken care of the imaging array, but you should still look into securing the primary coolant flow. With some luck, you may be able to light the area before these things even show up.
Ouais, ça on n'arrive jamais à l'empêcher. Hein. Alors attends, juste pour info, ici il me manque 3 pages. Sachant que la 3e, on la chope dans le scénario. C'est celle qu'on reçoit, enfin c'est le signal quoi. Donc en fait il y a 2 pages. Est-ce que je vais me refaire attaquer en rentrant là-dedans?
Thanks for tuning in for the second part of our interview with Serena Valdivia and award-winning photographer Alice Wake. Now, Alice, we were talking about your husband, Alan Wake. Is that a sore subject for you?
Well, a little bit. Of course it is. The way I see it, we had our good times and our bad times, and on the whole, we had a lot of good times. He really made me happy. I don't mind being reminded of him.
So you're over him?
I don't know if I'll ever be that, entirely. I still think about him every day, literally. I still find myself hoping for... Well, sometimes I think I see him just standing somewhere, watching me. I think most people who lose someone they love experience things like that. But on the whole, I'm doing all right. 2 years is a long time to adjust, and I'm not really the type to wallow in the negative.
Well, I know there are a lot of stories about Alan. He seemed to have something of a wild streak.
That's not really what our show is about, though. Look, all that stuff really gets blown out of proportion. He had his problems, but it's really frustrating for me because people like to talk. They love to tell these crazy stories, and they never really knew him at all.
Well, the character he created, Alex Casey, is a household name. The books still continue to sell. There's been talk of a TV series, a movie, a video game. Must be nice to know that his work is still being appreciated by so many readers.
Yes, of course, but I don't really deal with the business side. I leave that to Alan's agent.
That would be Barry Wheeler? Actually, I just interviewed him. He's currently in the music business.
Mm-hmm.
And he's also Alan's best friend. Do you two keep in touch? Or?
We talk regularly. Like I said, he handles the business side. I think we should talk about her film.
Yes, of course, you're right. I'm Eddie Rodman, talking to Alice Wake and Serena Valdivia, and we'll be right back.
Ok, bon, il n'y a pas eu de nouvelle info par rapport à ce qu'on avait déjà eu dans les pages. What? Ah, ils essaient grave de contourner. Hein. Aïe, mauvaise direction. Quoi? Ça m'a fait trop peur. Il en reste un, je crois, non? C'est le même truc que...
Very good. I believe we're ready to look into the sky.
Right there, Doctor.
Ok, donc ça a pas changé. J'aurais peut-être dû aller voir en haut de l'autre côté. Toujours le bruit de porte. Ouais, donc là pour le moment je peux plus retourner là-bas, mais je pourrais peut-être en faisant tout le tour. J'aurais peut-être dû y aller avant. Je me répète, mais... Bon, on verra bien. Normalement il y a 2 pages à trouver. Donc là il y a des objets qui vont m'attaquer. Ah, pas que les objets visiblement. Il y a une page là-bas.
This act of creation is exhilarating and frightening. Subtext and symbols loom eager to take effect. Causality and consequence become domino chains that stretch into infinity. The more fundamental the change, the more unpredictable the variables become. Reality is too complex to control completely. Ordinary questions become meaningless. Who created who? What is really real? Everything is as real as everything else. You learn to let go of the things you can't control and go with the flow, or go insane.
Quoi ce fusil? What the fuck? Vas-y, je le garde. Ah, très bien. Merde, j'aurais pas dû faire ça. Je vais pas rentrer tout de suite parce qu'à mon avis elle va avoir le message directement. Donc il faudrait que je trouve... Ah, la dernière page. Hop là, très bien. bien.
The man before Dr. Meadows was handsome and slick. He moved with lazy confidence and didn't bother to pretend that he wasn't staring at her. She didn't mind, at first. Then the man flicked open the knife and shoved her out of the control room so she wouldn't hear the signal, whatever it was. Outside, she pulled her lab coat closed and thought about running. She didn't. She didn't think she'd get very far. Not from him. She never was entirely sure why he spared her.
C'est vrai ça. Techniquement, sans elle, le vrai Wake peut pas obtenir le code. Du coup, peut-être qu'il fait exprès en fait que tout ça c'est une manipulation et qu'en fait le code ça va l'aider lui. C'est une possibilité à ne pas exclure. Alors juste vérifier, mais normalement, ouais, ça il me semble que c'est le signal qu'on chopera. Et dans la dernière zone, il m'en manquera 4.
Come on in.
Il reste la télé encore. Mais elle active direct le truc.
This is what you look like. Does that bother you? I bet it does. I'm not just wearing your face, you know. It goes a lot deeper than that. There's a lot of you and me. All the best parts. At first, I was just an idea. But they kept telling all those stories about you. You already had that rep. And then you disappeared mysteriously. And then the stories about bad, crazy Alan Wake came true. And here I am. That's the best part, isn't it? When that happens, you can always count on Cauldron Lake. I'm just as real as you are. And I'm the improved version. No fears, no doubt, no weaknesses, no self-deception here. I don't let anything drag me down. I know you like I know myself. I know it bothers you that I'm like this, that I use your name, crawl my way into your life. But I only do it because I'm better at being you than you ever were.
violating the laws of physics in my observatory. That's just rude. Are you all right?
I'll live.
I'm glad. I'll send the lift down to you. I remember our previous encounters very clearly now. But technically, if this really is a loop in time, we've never met before. I don't know why our awareness persists, but it's bloody fascinating.
Bon, c'était un peu inattendu la musique, mais pourquoi pas.
Doctor?
You know, I know physicists who would give 15 years of their lives for a chance to experience something like this.
I'd imagine that being stalked by horrible axe murderers would curb their enthusiasm a little.
Clearly you've never met hardcore physicists.
I'm glad you're in such good spirits, but...
Signal! Yes, it's completed.
Finally. If all goes well, this should be the last time we go through the loop.
You know, I just realized that I don't have any memory of what happens after you leave. What does that mean?
I don't think it means anything. If everything goes well, you just keep going. I don't show up here like this again, no more bad guys. Things go back to normal.
Let's hope you're right. I'd love the opportunity to look into this in more detail.
Looks like you've accepted the situation.
I'm a pragmatist. If this is a delusion, at least my first psychotic episode is anything but boring. Really, Mr. Wake, at the end of the day, I'm a scientist. I love mysteries. I love not knowing. Whatever else this might be, it's absolutely fascinating. I wonder how far this reaches. Is everybody in the world experiencing this?
Who knows? I think reality's probably pretty fragile right now. Doctor, I can see you're very enthusiastic about this. I'd appreciate a bit of discretion.
Are you suggesting that we should suppress this?
No. You can do what you like, but I want you to leave me out of it.
But surely, with the things you know, the things you've experienced, you can replicate any of these results. We could—
Let me be blunt. If you drag me into this, I'll deny everything. I'll lie like my life depended on it. And writers are damn good liars. Word of advice. This is things man was not meant to know territory. You get into this, chances are you'll open up a door into a world of hurt. Believe me, I know.
I see.
In a strange way, he feels at ease. He is armed with his own words, and when the time comes, they will be enough or they will not. For now, he's content to let the currents take him toward the final confrontation.
Bon, j'ai envie de faire pipi, mais je pense que je vais attendre de finir le jeu. Comme ça, après, je fais une pause et... peut-être je lance un autre jeu, je sais pas, je verrai.
Once more, we return to the drive-in. If he's aware of the absurdity of arming oneself with a few sentences and standing against a power that can pierce time itself, he doesn't show it. The man has his share of weaknesses, perhaps more. But
Il s'est garé là directement.
not among them.
Mais il a pas besoin des clés normalement? Bizarre. Alors attends, du coup... Retour, hop.
I'd found her film
Quoi le
from a
nouveau
pile of
changement?
containers in the back. I'd threaded it into the projector. I swallowed hard, staring at the screen, hearing her voice. The sunrise I remembered so well only moments away. And then Mr. was there, nailed by the projector's beam, caught in his own trap. He shouted at me, first in confusion, then rage. And then the sun came up and things started to burn.
Je suis pas sûr d'avoir compris. Hein. Du coup, après tous les machins, il faut que je trouve une pellicule et que je la mette sur le projecteur. Ouais, en gros, le film d'Alice pour le festival. Ok. Bon, de toute façon, normalement, quand je serai dans la salle, il y aura les instructions. Du coup, il faut que je trouve 4 pages. Sachant qu'on commence pas au même endroit en plus. Faut que je fasse attention.
Oh, you got yourself a little plan, do you?
Ah mais il est là où j'avais pas vu. À chaque fois c'est un peu juste les esquives. Bon, ça passe. Je suis censé aller par là, donc je vais aller par là pour voir s'il n'y a pas une page. Pas de page a priori. Un peu trop d'ennemis, je trouve. Bon après c'est la fin du jeu, c'est logique. Aïe. Là je l'ai touché avec la lumière sans vouloir. Ok. Let's go. Ouais donc a priori il n'y a aucune page dans cette zone. J'espère qu'il n'y aura pas d'araignée. Il n'y a pas de toile d'araignée donc a priori il n'y aura pas d'araignée. Alors du coup c'est le troisième. Y'a pas ce truc qui valse normalement hein. Y'a pas d'ennemis pour une fois. Merde, ah ok. Je le sens pas. Putain il m'a touché quand même. N'importe. Ok, j'avais peur qu'il y ait des ennemis qui pop derrière moi en fait. Mais il y avait un truc à exploser au milieu, j'ai même pas vu. Ok, ok. Donc là-bas c'est toujours bouché j'imagine. C'est gentil ça.
You're never getting out of this, Wake. Never! Don't worry. I'll take care of your wife and your life.
Oh non. Alors là du coup il faut que je fasse attention parce qu'il y a forcément des pages de manuscrits, mais je sais pas où exactement. Il y en a 4 normalement, donc faut bien chercher. De toute façon la cabine... Ah oui, mais quand je vais arriver vers la cabine il va y avoir les tours là. Ça va être chiant. Ok.
I don't know what you think you're doing, but I'll send you right back to the beginning.
Très bien. Ah, il y en a une là-bas déjà.
When the dark man's eyes suddenly locked into Serena's, she flushed hot. They ignited a black fire in her. He was talking. He wanted the power turned off. He said something about the projector booth. She hooked a finger under his belt buckle. He grabbed a hold of her throat and twisted until it hurt. Somewhere deep inside, a part of her screamed in paralyzed horror, but the moan that escaped from her throat had no panic in it. "Pay attention," he said. "Business first." His eyes glittered shamelessly. Hers did too.
Très bien, toujours aussi malaisant ce genre de mise en scène. Par contre, c'est la deuxième, alors je sais pas si l'ordre a une importance, mais peut-être que j'ai raté une page dans la zone là-bas, je sais pas. On verra bien. Ah, il y en a une ici déjà.
What? You think whatever it is you're gonna do is gonna make a difference? This'll end up just like before!
Ok, bon, du coup je suis un peu plus tranquille normalement, même s'il peut y avoir quelques attaques ici et là. Alors je pense qu'il doit y avoir une page vers là-bas. Il y en a une vers le petit guichet que j'ai passé. Eh bien non, pas de page. Non, au moins je suis sûr.
There's more to fighting the Taken than just burning away the darkness that protects them. When I'm fighting for my life, I find myself slipping into a state of intense concentration that makes the beam of my flashlight seem more powerful and focused. I used to think it was just my imagination, something brought on by the adrenaline and fear of death. But now I'm not so sure. I've been touched by powers that I can't begin to truly comprehend. And they've left a mark. I'm starting to think this might be a part of it.
I've been around for a while now, you know? While you've been indisposed, stuck in the darkness, I've been busy. I operate in the shadows, not always literally, you understand? I'm a little more resilient than those I've taken, but I do my best work in the dark. And there's so much darkness out there. It goes deep. And the things that live in it are vast, big bastards. They don't mind getting a little bit of elbow room. All that chaos and madness, it doesn't really do that much down there. It's like pouring a glass of water into the ocean, right? But up here, yeah, you can really make an impact. All they need is someone to bring them all the way through. But first, I had to take care of you. You party pooper. You're stuck in an eternal cycle now. The sun's never coming up for you. Everything else? Do my thing. Getting a bit of quality time with Alice. That's a little something for me. And I deserve it.
Très bien. Du coup, il m'en reste 2. Ok, ouais, donc celle-là, elle était... Je pense que c'est parce que celle-là, elle était hors du chemin et celle-là, elle était plus sur le chemin. Il m'en reste 2 qui sont potentiellement... Moi, je suis censé aller là-bas. Il doit y en avoir une là-bas et peut-être une là derrière, peut-être. Ou la boutique des souvenirs. Donc, let's go. Au final, j'aurais trouvé toutes les pages, contrairement au premier jeu. Bon, en même temps, le premier jeu, il est déjà beaucoup plus long. Plus grand aussi. Même si là, pour le coup, il y a 3 zones, mais elles sont assez ouvertes. Mais le premier jeu est plus linéaire, mais il est plus long, quoi. Et en plus, il y a des pages qu'on peut avoir que en difficulté max. Donc, j'aurais jamais pu les avoir, quoi qu'il arrive. Ok, donc il n'y a rien ici. Pas rassurant. Ah, peut-être là, avant le poste de garde. De toute façon, faut que je retourne voir Serena machin là, non? Je lui ai pas encore parlé. Ok, il y en a une là. Je vais tester l'arme, quoi. Ouais, non. Le problème avec les armes comme ça, c'est que il faut s'approcher quoi. Ok, il y a une page juste là.
I held the film canister in my hands. I saw her name written across it in big letters, followed by the title. It was a time capsule, moments snatched from times gone by, from a past that I hoped could also be our future. It was my salvation, our chance to be together. A tin can with a bit of magic in it that she didn't even know about. Something I could put to good use. There were only moments left before I had to face him.
Ah putain, mais il va y avoir un combat final ou... Parce que dans le... Dans la page de manuscrit là, c'était marqué le soleil se lève et tout. Pour moi ça veut dire... J'active le truc et c'est bon. Bon, normalement il n'y a rien là, mais je sais qu'il reste une page. Mais je sais pas où elle est. Elle est ici. Parfait, j'ai toutes les pages.
The clothes I wear now I shaped from dreams and memories. It's an old outfit, originally from the 90s. The last time I wore it was when I was still writing and Alice and I took a vacation in the desert before our troubles began. The night before, we'd been at a party, and I had dressed to the nines. On that lazy day, I put on these old clothes, worn and comfortable. Alice made a joke about grunge. I felt a little embarrassed, but I stuck with them. We were very happy. I'm sheathed in good memories to remind myself of what is at stake.
Ok, donc c'est quand même basé sur des souvenirs, des vrais souvenirs. C'est-à-dire qu'ils sont allés en Arizona, enfin dans le désert, je suppose en Arizona. Son alter ego maléfique qui porte les fringues de la fête. Lui porte les fringues du lendemain. Donc en même temps c'est logique vu que c'est lui qui a écrit le truc. Bon, on va essayer de la déposséder quand même, ce serait bien. Ah oui, on peut pas du tout lui parler avant. Tant mieux. Ce sera pas gênant.
Oh, hey.
I'm hoping I can put an end to this now.
You'd better. I really don't want that to happen to me again. It's like somebody vomited in my brain, like a sleazy movie that keeps looping in my head.
I'll stop this, I swear.
You know the part that's really screwed up? If you mess it up, it'll just keep happening forever, right? I don't think I can deal with that.
Don't think about that.
I don't think of anything but.
Hey, afterwards, when all this is done, look me up. This thing, I can probably help you deal with it.
I don't know. It's almost like I'm not even in the same world anymore. Everything's just weird now.
Yeah, I know. A lot of that'll pass with time, but being touched by the darkness, it's rough on you. It's a lot to process, and I just don't want you to get completely screwed up by this.
Might be a little late for that, to be honest.
Yeah, well, there's degrees. At least you're not at a point where you go around picking fights with people over not changing their light bulbs often enough.
What?
Never mind. All I'm saying is, you're not alone with this. And anyway, you're friends with Alice, so, you know, any friend of hers.
Thank you.
C'est moi où il a bâché la vieille du 1 là qui l'a littéralement sauvée alors que elle est même pas là. Ouais, donc ça c'est un plot hole en vrai, parce que ces clés là normalement elles servent à ouvrir la centrale là-bas. Ah non, elles ouvrent le grillage d'entrée. Comme on s'est garé directement derrière, on n'a pas eu besoin, et pour sortir il y a eu l'ombre qui a cassé le grillage.
Hello, folks, and welcome to the third part of our pre-recorded interview with Serena Valdivia and renowned photographer Alice Wake. So, tell me about the film.
It's called Sunrise, and it really wasn't something I ever thought of as an actual film. It was just footage, things I saw and happened to shoot. It's not a medium I'm very much at home with.
You shouldn't put yourself down. You've got a great eye.
Maybe, but experience is another thing.
Because you're primarily a still photographer.
Yes, exactly. So I'm really used to thinking of the world in terms of snapshots. I frame something and try to pick the right moment, and then reveal that moment to people. Moving images are a different story. I'm still learning a lot about it, to be honest.
So this is a new thing for you?
Or maybe I'm just a slow learner. But showing it like this is definitely a new step for me. It's a little weird taking something this intimate and showing it to everybody. Not that the material itself is somehow shocking. It's just that those were private moments.
But that's why it works, because it feels genuine. It's not so much a story as it is a sort of an echo, showing us how you saw your husband at the time. It's not really about the sunrise itself or Alan watching it. It's about you two together.
I suppose. It's funny, looking at it now, especially now that it's been edited like that. It takes on a life of its own, almost. It's a kind of a fantasy.
Well, there's nothing wrong with that.
No, you're right. I'm glad you talked me into it.
Ok. Bon, mais du coup, j'ai tout. Je suis prêt pour la fin du jeu. Merde, j'espère qu'on peut passer. Ouais. Bon, j'essaie la borne d'arcade là parce que à chaque fois je l'ai pas essayé en pensant que ça faisait partie du truc de fin.
Again, the champion of light enters the final trap. The new reality is almost here. All he needs to do is change the details of the scene, push it past the breaking point, and the rest will snap into place.
Ouais, donc la seule différence c'est le film d'Alice dans le projecteur. Et donc ça c'est quoi? Je peux jouer? Je ne peux pas jouer. Est-ce que c'est une ref à un ancien jeu de Remedy? Je ne sais pas. Ouais, ça bouge bizarrement. J'essaie de voir si je vois une ref, mais j'ai pas l'impression. Ça doit être le jeu en lui-même qui est la ref. Alors, du coup, je vais réactiver ça, même si je sais pas à quoi ça sert, si c'est nécessaire. En fait, et le ventilo et la borne d'arcade, on peut interagir avec, mais c'est pas spécialement présent sur le manuscrit, donc hop. Le poster de film noir. La lumière sur l'extincteur. Et alors il faut que je trouve la bobine du film. C'est ça, marqué dessus. Et que je la mette dans le projo. Lequel? Celui-là, j'imagine, il y a un emplacement. Faire correspondre la scène à la page du manuscrit. Oui. Hop. Ça a marché.
Oh, come on, buddy. Why don't you... What? What is this? No! No! You can't do this! All I did was take the things you always wanted and never had the balls to go for. It's my turn now. It's my life. It's my life.
Nice, pas de boss fight, ça me va.
Alan? Is it really you?
It's really me.
How? I love you.
I love you.
A woman, a man, two lovers, held apart for far too long, enveloped in the light of a glorious dawn. They both feel it. He's home at last. Are these actual events, or merely a dream? A memory, or a glimpse of what is to come? One thing is certain. This scene takes place in another time and another place, far, far away from Night Springs.
Bon, c'est logique que ça se finisse comme ça, vu que à la base c'était un épisode de Night Springs.